afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dawson Field here at Plymouth Regional High School as we get set for the first round of the NHIAA Division II Baseball Tournament here at Plymouth Regional High School. Dan Salzer alongside my partner Aaron Como as we welcome you into our broadcast here on the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV. Aaron, it's a 6-11 matchup here in the first round. Two schools that are very familiar with each other, but the Bobcats looking for some redemption here in this first round matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't let the seeds fool you. Plymouth is the highest seed today. However, Lebanon beat them during the regular season, and taking a look at some of the common opponents they had during the season, I think they had 7 common opponents between them. And if you look at the scores on the NHIAA website, the scores are eerily similar, and the outcomes were very similar as well. It looks like Lebanon suffered a few tough losses along the way, which puts them down to the 11 seed. But both of these teams are capable of making a run in the playoffs here today.
And looking at things, both teams well represented on the NHIAA all-state teams as well. A slew of Bobcats are first, second, and third teamers, and 3 for Lebanon going into this matchup. Yeah,
and Lebanon brings their pitcher, Kyle Pelletier, number 18. He's a big kid. He's a first-team All-Stater, so I'm really excited to watch him throw today. I haven't seen him pitch this year. I've heard some good things about him. I think he gets down the hill real well, and the Bobcats are going to have to get after him early.
Yeah, we look at Pelletier. He is named to the first-team All-State. Trey Chickering is second-team All-State for the Raiders. Caleb Smith, third-team All-State for Lebanon this year. And looking at Plymouth Regional, we talk about it. Couple of first-teamers in Devlin Costa and Owen Brickley. Henry Green is a second-teamer. And then Andrew Baxter and Ken Maddox, who nearly pitched a no-hitter a week ago here at home against White Mountains. He's been outstanding both on the mound and defensively for the Bobcats here in 2019.
Yeah, I go back probably 5 or 6 years now and coaching a 12U baseball team, Cal Ripken team during the regular season, and had the number 1 seeded team going into the playoffs. And Kenny Maddox was probably the best player on his team, which was the last seeded team, and Kenny pitched a no-hitter against us and beat us 1-0 and to advance his team to the championship. So, Kenny's been around a while, but it's no surprise that Owen Brickley and Devlin and Henry Green are at the top and made the All-State list this year. I think they lead the team in batting average and stolen bases this year.
Yeah, talk about it. The top of the order, stolen bases, has been outstanding for the Bobcats here in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, Devlin, and Owen and Henry have, I believe at this point, they're 41 for 42 in stolen bases, which, if you know baseball at all, is just a crazy statistic. And it doesn't surprise me. They're all lightning fast. They get good jumps. They know how to read their pitchers. And I think at this point, Mike's not even giving them steal signs anymore. He's just
they're on their own.
He's letting them do their thing,
But the biggest thing, though, is Lebanon, as the Bobcats have hit the field here to get this game underway, defeated Plymouth Regional at home earlier this year, back on May 15th, 11-6. So they've got a little boost of confidence on their side.
Yeah, I think they do. But you know what? I've always been a big fan of being the underdog. And you go into the playoffs, especially the first round, if you have a reason to play, I think you have the advantage, And Leb may be resting on their laurels a little bit with that win, and the Bobcats aren't. I went over there earlier, and they were laser focused, and I think they're ready for this game. I'm good with being the underdog.
Looking at things, let's look at the starting lineup, Aaron, for Lebanon going into this first-round matchup.
Yeah, leading off for Leb is Trey Chickering, and he'll be playing in center field. The number 2 spot is Kobe Benoit, and he'll be at third base. The third spot belongs to Caleb Smith, and he'll be at first base. John Williams in the 4 spot, cleanup, playing the shortstop position. Calvin Bates is the catcher. We have Jorgen Luthauser, who'll be out in right field. Joe Dupree will be the DH, and he'll be hitting for Tom Berthasavage, who is playing second base. And Kyle Pelletier, the pitcher, the All-Stater. And then the end of the lineup will be Cooper Bourne, playing left field.
Defensively for the Bobcats, Demas will be on the mound, Johnson catching, Quayle at first, Brickley at second. We have Baxter over at third as well. And already missing the shortstop. Well go by me. Henry Green will be at short. Maddox, Costa, and Mom left to right in the outfield here in this first round matchup.
A lot of seniors on the field for Plymouth this year. You know, you got the outfield is full of seniors. You got a senior on the mound, senior at second base, senior at first base. You got 2 sophomores out there starting today, one at third base and one behind the dish. And you know, I think that's a good thing. And then 1 junior at shortstop. But having those underclassmen get this experience today is huge for the Bobcats.
Garrett Demas on the mound in 16 1/3 innings pitch has a 2-0 record with a 1.71 ERA. He has 24 strikeouts, only walked 15 batters this year, has given up 8 hits, 10 runs. Only 4 of them have been earned in 2019. He's looking for a good showing here as they're underway in this first round matchup.
Yeah, Devlin's going to have to keep his composure here and get down the hill and start ahead on the count.
Chickering fouls this one straight back. Chickering enters today, batting .340 for the Raiders, 7 RBIs. He is 18 for 53, but more importantly, only 1 extra base hit for a double here in 2019. Demas with the delivery, fastball taken for a strike.
Nice pitch. That fastball, if he can stay up belt high and on that outside like that, that's a tough pitch to get your hands on.
Just missing away to evens the count of 2-2.
Got to start that curveball a little earlier, I think, you know. Drop that into the zone. Make it a little more hittable.
Cut on and miss, strike 3, and Demas starting off strong here with a strikeout.
That's exactly the start we wanted out of Demas. You know, get ahead in the count, work his fastball, throw a few off-speed pitches, and you know, he does strike people out.
Bring up the third baseman in Colby Benoit, batting second. Benoit this year hitting .293 with 4 RBIs for the Raiders. First pitch taken for a strike on the fastball inside.
Again, just pounding that zone with that fastball. It's what he's got to do all day long.
What impresses me is his speed on the mound as well between pitches.
Yeah, he's working quick, I think, and he's trying to get himself into a rhythm, into a groove, and not get thrown off. And, you know, he works well when he speeds up like that.
1-1 ready for Demas. Benoit lays off high and inside.
Wouldn't be surprised to see the Lebanon Raiders catch on, though, and start taking a little more time in between pitches to try to throw them off a little bit.
2-1, this one line right up the middle. And a 1-out single for Lebanon here in the top of the first.
Yeah, he kind of left that pitch middle in, it looked like, and Benoit was able to get his hands on it for inside-out kind of swing and drive that for a base hit.
Bring up the power hitter, the first baseman, and Caleb Smith, number 14. He comes in batting .415, highest on the team. More impressively, slugging .634, 9 RBIs. He does have 2 home runs this year, but has also walked 6 times, struck out 10, as this one barely gets away from Johnson, able to keep the runner out at first.
I'll be curious to see if Leb tries to jump on Cole Johnston quick, our sophomore catcher, to test his arm and see what he's got under this kind of pressure today.
1 away here in the top of the first inning. Demas gets the sign he wants, ready for the delivery. Fastball just missing downstairs.
Yeah, trying to keep that ball low, work those corners. Really doesn't want to give this guy anything to hit here. You know, Smith, like you said, is a pretty good hitter.
2-0 pitch coming. Off-speed pitch missing down and in.
Looked like a change up there, just kind of dropped in too much for a ball.
Hitters count 3-0 here to Smith.
I'm guessing he's going to sit on this if he gets what he wants.
Downstairs, ball 4 and a 4-pitch walk given up to Smith. And 2 on here with 1 out in the top of the first.
Looks like Cole's going out to have a chat with Demas, maybe settle him down a little bit and stop the momentum here for Leb.
Jonathan Williman, the shortstop, will step into the batter's box now. He comes in batting at .269 this season with a team-high 12 RBIs. Good chance here to get the Raiders ahead early on in this one. Crowd continuing to show up here to Dawson Field and the hillside and right field line. Change up, in for a strike there from Demas.
Just like that, he goes back to work. Obviously he wants to pitch to this batter and not the last one, and they kind of pitched around him here, but he's right back to work.
Benoit with a nice lead at second. Fastball framed by Johnson, misses downstairs.
That pitch might come in handy as this game rolls along. It's going to be tough to watch that pitch depending on what the count is, but that doesn't miss by much.
But it looks like it's a tight strike zone here to start. That one finds the strike zone.
Looks like he finally got that curveball to drop in for a strike. Started it out a little bit, landed in the zone.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count here. 1 away in the top of the first. Strike 3, the second strikeout for Demas here.
Love to see those strikeouts looking.
So the biggest thing now, Demas doesn't have to worry about the base runners, just has to worry about Calvin Bates, the catcher, in the 5-hole stepping in. Bates batting .317 this season, 8 RBIs. He's 13 for 41, 10 runs scored, 2 doubles, 1 triple. Laid off on that pitch on the changeup downstairs.
Johnson's going to have to work hard today. He's going to be a key piece in this win. He's got to make sure he's a wall back there and stops any balls in the dirt, especially with the runners on base.
Demas with a look back at second, takes a second look now, delivers. Fastball swung on and missed.
There's that belt-high fastball again, and with his velocity, that's a tough pitch to get your hands on. If he can live there, throw a few off-speed pitches in there, he's going to have a good day.
Leaving the count at 1-1. In there for a strike from Demas, looking strong here, getting angry with 2 outs and 2 on.
Looks like he's found the bottom of the strike zone there. He brought that fastball up a little bit, and that's going to be a tough pitch.
A 1-2. Change up, fouled, and out of play on the right field side. Ready for the 1-2 again from Demas. Takes a long look in now. Delivers the Bates and just missing high and away.
That was a pretty good pitch in that situation. It was just high in the strike zone, but a tough pitch to lay off.
2-2 pitch coming to Bates. Trying to get the Raiders on the board here in the top of the first. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Demas gets 3 strikeouts. Does give up a hit and a walk, but the Raiders can't get anyone home. We head to the bottom of the first here on the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV. Welcome back here for the bottom of the first inning. And Aaron, let's run through the batting order for the Bobcats here this game.
Yeah, starting off for the Bobcats will be Henry Green, the shortstop, followed by Devlin Costa in center field. Nick Quayle in the 3 spot playing first. Andrew Baxter with cleanup playing third base. Owen Brickley in the 5th spot at second base. We've got Cole Johnston batting 6th behind the dish. Garrett Demas, the pitcher, at 7. Kenny Maddox in left field batting 8th. And Patrick Maum in right field batting 9th.
Defensively for the Raiders here in this first round matchup, Pelletier on the mound, Bates catching, Smith at first, Bertha Savage at second, Williman at short, Benoit at third, and then Boyne, Chickering, and Luthhauser left to right in the outfield. We look at Kyle Pelletier on the mound, their ace for Lebanon here in 2019, comes in with a 1.83 ERA and 54 innings pitched. 10 appearances here in 2019. does have 35 strikeouts, only 9 walks, but has given up 2 home runs and has a 4-4 record.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch him pitch. First team All-Stater. Like I said before, he seems like a big kid. He gets down the hill well. Curious to see what he has for off-speed pitches or anything else in his toolbox other than a fastball.
As Aaron mentioned, and it will be Henry Green, the shortstop, leading off for the Bobcats here in the bottom of the first.
Henry Green is a junior. I think last year as a sophomore, he was a first-team All-Stater.
Green enters today batting .375. He'll take a ball high.
Super patient hitter. He can take the count full, foul off 2 or 3 pitches, and then either draw a walk or hit a double.
Has scored 20 runs as he pulled this one foul on the first base side.
Henry's one of those kids on this team who's really made himself a baseball player. It's his sport. He's dedicated himself to it, and he's put a lot of hard work in the offseason.
Two on, taken for a strike.
There's an off-speed pitch there. It looked like a slider that kind of slid in there on that outside corner.
2-2 pitch from Pelletier, missing up high. We'll run the count full.
Yeah, very patient hitter. Henry's a very patient hitter.
When we saw it with that White Mountains game last week, Bobcats living with the top of the order, fouled off here at the plate.
He stayed alive with that one. Not a great pitch, but certainly something he had to foul off in that situation.
Ready for another payoff pitch. Three-two from Pelletier. Swung on. Chopper sent it. Bether Savage gathers it up and throws over to the first for the first out.
I didn't see anything in that first batter that, leads me to believe that he's that dominant on the hill. I mean, he looks like he's throwing pretty evenly with what our pitcher's doing. And, I think that if the Bobcat hitters are patient, they're going to get to him.
Bring up the center fielder in Devlin Costa. Costa batting .435 here this season. Takes a pitch behind the head.
I believe he's number 2 for batting average on the team this year so far. Super fast on the base paths, too.
This one misses in the dirt. Quickly Costa ahead 2-0.
Yeah, he's not a runner they want on base because he can quickly be standing at third base in just a couple of pitches.
Big swing and a miss on that one.
Yeah, he took a big hack at that.
Pelletier working quickly here on the mound. There's a chopper sent to the third base line and just going foul.
Game of inches, stays in a couple of inches there. He beats that out, no problem at all.
Nice work by Benoit at third to let that one go foul before playing it. Leaving the count at 2-2 here with one away in the bottom of the first. And down, strike 3, 2 away here.
Well, there's that acceleration I guess I didn't see in the first at bat by Henry, but Pelletier really got down the hill on that pitch, and a noticeable difference in the velocity on that pitch.
So 2 up, 2 down for the Bobcats here in the first inning, and it'll bring up Nick Quayle, the first baseman. He'll take a strike to start this at bat. Quayle batting .255 here in 2019.
Seems like Pelletier's kind of found his groove here too, and he's picked up his pace. He's working a lot quicker between pitches as well.
1-1 from Pelletier. Change up, swung on a miss there from Quayle. This one lifted, foul on the third base side.
Again, looked like a fastball on that outside. He had to foul that pitch off. He's got 2 strikes. He's got to stay alive here.
The The 1-2, change up, missing away. Good work by Bates.
Quayle being patient up there. You know, if he gets his pitch, he's capable of getting extra bases here.
And the Bobcats have done well to make Pelletier work here in the first inning. One missing high and away, and another full count here.
There's that acceleration again. You know, he elevated and accelerated, trying to get him to chase that high fastball.
So 2 full counts in the first inning to the Bobcats. In there, strike 3 from Pelletier. Back-to-back strikeouts. Bobcats go 1, 2, 3 here in the first. We're tied 0-0 heading to the second here on the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At nfhslearn.com, you can find over 60 courses for coaches, administrators, officials, parents, students, and performing arts programs, including over 25 free courses such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. For more information, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
Back here for the top of the second inning. 6-7, 8-2 up for Lebanon. Luthhauser, Dupree, and Pelletier expected.
Yeah, hopefully Garrett gets right back to work here and starts, you know, pounding that zone, getting down the hill hard, and, you know, working that belt-high fastball in that outside corner and occasionally sweeping that curveball. And, you know, we need a real efficient second inning out of him here.
We talked about it during the break. Is pitch count for both sides is really critical with a one-day turnaround before Saturday's second round.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams are going to want to save some pitches with their aces to go into Saturday's game if they need to. And I don't think either team anticipates starting their 2 aces again on Saturday, but definitely would want them in reserve to come in and close if they needed to.
Or at least late inning help with the matchups, that 5th, 6th, 7th inning. We'll see what the Bobcats can do here. So far, it's been good for Demas. He did give up a single and a walk, but had 3 strikeouts in the first inning.
Yeah, he is a strikeout machine. If he gets into a groove, he can mow him down, and hopefully that he's in that mindset today. And he's a senior. You know, every game is his last now, just like the rest of the seniors. And you know, hopefully they stay laser focused. Looks like they're discussing something out there at the mound that may be bothering him right now.
Yeah, I don't know if he slipped during his warm-up tosses coming back here in the second inning, so this could be real critical for the Bobcats.
I don't know if it's something wrong with the pitching rubber or, you know, the dirt on the mound as a whole or something, but he's definitely something's got his attention and got him upset here.
See the umpire and crew. 3 here in the playoffs in the NHIAA. You're right, it does look like his plant area might be a little bit either uneven or too much of a hole.
Whatever it is, it looks like we're gonna work around it or work through it. So,
you know, shift from the left side of the rubber to the right, change your angle a little bit.
Right.
Jorgen Luthhauser, the right fielder, enters today batting .270 for the Raiders. Does have 3 RBIs. He'll take a ball here.
That's that low strike that Demas keeps trying to get a call on, and it just doesn't look like he's going to get that call today.
This one in for a strike. Yeah, Demas working quickly, the 1-1. Another fastball inside.
There's that belt-high fastball that we keep talking about. If he can live there, I'm telling you, these Lebanon players seem to have a hard time with it right off.
The 1-2, another fastball just missing below the knees.
Boy,
Johnson thought it was a strikeout.
It looked like a strike to me. He got that call last inning just at the knees, and he just didn't get it this time.
So to even the count at 2-2 here to lead off the top of the second. Upstairs, strike 3. 4th strikeout for Demas.
Elevates and accelerates and gets him to go at that high fastball. It looks so good coming in, especially when you get 2 strikes on you.
Bring up the designated hitter, number 22, and Joseph Dupree. Dupree batting 180 this season, 4 RBIs. He'll take a ball, I believe, there.
That's an interesting, placement as the DH with a batting average below 200. It really leads me to wonder what the second baseman's batting if he's not batting today.
We look at Beather Savage. He's batting 200 even, so not much of a difference for either of them.
Could be the case of a senior versus an underclassman and just trying to get the senior in the game in the playoffs,
In their first strike, once again, evens the count 2-2. Fastball just slipped out of the hands and sails to the backstop.
That one he elevated just a tad bit too much.
Trying to reach back at a couple of extra miles an hour on that one, trying to get another strikeout, but it will run the count full, 3-2. Fastball high and inside, and a one-out walk. Second walk given up by Demas here this game.
Yeah, not a good walk in this situation. Down in the order like that, you really want to go after the bottom of the order, make them swing the bat, make them put the ball in play.
So a chance for Pelletier to help out his own cause. He enters, batting .213 this season, 9 RBIs. He's 10 for 47. Only 2 extra base hits, both of those being doubles. Just missing on the fastball downstairs.
Yeah, I'm sure Pelletier's the all-around player. He's been playing baseball a long time, and, he's a threat on both sides.
1-1 the count to Pelletier. Off and running is Dupree. And that's going to get through. Green at short. Expect that one to go as an error. He's distracted by Dupree, off and running for second.
Yeah, it looked like Lebanon had to hit and run on there. I didn't expect Dupree to steal in that situation, but clearly they had to hit and run on, and it worked like a charm.
So an error to Green puts 2-1, and Dupree in scoring position with only one away, as Cooper Bourne, the left fielder, will step up in the 9th spot. Fastball missing downstairs.
Might be a good time here for the sophomore catcher to take a timeout and go out and settle Demas down a little bit. He pitched an out there and it didn't go his way, and sometimes it gets in his head, and maybe a little timeout chat might be in order here.
Cooper Bourne batting .294 this season. Only 1 RBI as he fouls this one straight back.
Right back to work there with a fastball.
But if anyone, you expect that 9-hole to really help out Demas on the mound despite having 2 on with that only 1 RBI.
Yeah, uncharacteristic error by Green at short, too. He's a very solid infielder, usually comes up with that play.
Ready for the 1-1. Bunted down. And they are going to call that one fair, just in front of the batter's box, and they get the force-out play of Dupree at third.
Yeah, what a great play by Johnston behind the dish. Coming up, hopping up, realizing he's got time to take that lead runner at third.
So a fielder's choice for Bourne. Back to the top of the order in Trey Chickering, the center fielder who's 0 for 1. He struck out swinging to lead off the game. This one missing for a ball.
Back to that play, as for a sophomore to have the whereabouts to pop up and bag that lead runner after the error. Big play for Cole Johnston.
Fastball inside, bell time once again for a strike. Johnson popped up, thought about snap throwing down to first.
He will snap throw. If you get cute on him on the bases, he will throw in on you.
1-1 pitch ready for Demas. Another long look in at second, checking on Pelletier, and he'll step off the mound. Good crowd, about 100 here, the right field line on the hill.
Yeah, I mean, it's a playoff game in Plymouth, and Plymouth has a long-standing history of baseball support here in town, and I suspect our crowd will continue to grow.
Brickley covering second on the throw, checking on Pelletier. He'll get back sliding in safely. 2 away here, scoreless so far, but the Raiders are threatening once again for the second straight inning. Change up downstairs inside, slow roller. Baxter throws across and not in time. An infield single there for Chickering.
Tough play, that it didn't have a lot on it. It was trickling in the grass. Baxter made a charge. He made a throw on the run. He did his best, but at the end of the day, that's a base hit.
So just like that, bases loaded situation for the Raiders as Colby Benoit, the third baseman, steps into the batter's box. He's 1 for 1 with a single to center. Fastball high, no throw, no one covering there. Quayle was well off of first base.
Yeah, he had a huge lead over there, and I think Cole just, was frothing at the mouth over it and wanted to throw him out there.
That one finds the strike zone to even the count at 1-1.
So far, impressed with Garrett, with Demas on the mound. He's had a few curveballs thrown at him here, an error behind him, and he's throwing strikes. He's giving his team a chance here.
Change up, swung on a miss, snap, throw down, and they've got him at first. Chickering tagged out on a big lead with a bases loaded situation. And Demas and the Bobcats get out of a jam here in the second. We head to the bottom of the second inning, tied 0-0. Welcome back to Dawson Field. Dan Salter alongside Aaron Como here on the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV. And so far, a lot of pressure from Lebanon, but the Bobcats defense has held. We're scoreless heading into the bottom of the second. But the Bobcats really need to come alive here as first pitch to Andrew Baxter hits him on the head and a leadoff batter on.
Baxter takes one off the dome to start the inning. Number 4 batter. I don't know, but maybe Pelletier was trying to send him a message or what?
I don't understand why. Pelletier was perfect, really, in the first inning. 2 strikeouts got the Bobcats 1-2-3. But nevertheless, Owen Brickley, the second baseman, will step up to the plate.
The team leader in batting average this year, Owen Brickley.
He'll take the changeup for a ball, just missing down and in.
Yeah, the strike zone's consistent here. He's not giving up that low strike.
Batting average for him is at .432. Throw over, checking on first, not in time. Brickley does lead the team in hit by pitches. Was 7 here in 2019.
Well, I mean, that might have something to do with the amount of touchdowns he scored in football against everybody.
Check swing offered out right up the middle off the mound. Williman tags second, throw over, not in time, so they'll get the leadoff runner and Baxter on the force play.
Yeah, great play up the middle there to get the force out at second, but certainly not time to get Brickley, probably one of the fastest kids in the state going down the line there.
Brickley, one of 4 Bobcats representing the football team in this upcoming 2019 Chad All-Star football game at the University of New Hampshire on June 29th.
Yeah, we're excited to watch the 3 boys play. We always send good, solid athletes to that game. They represent our school well, and Owen is no exception to that.
Granite State Sportsnet will have complete live coverage of that game down at Wildcat Stadium as Bolt Johnson, the catcher, takes the ball high and inside.
I would expect to see Brickley try and steal a bag here at some point.
Why not? He's been pretty much perfect this year. That pitch taken for a strike to even the count at 1-1.
Although so far a very conservative lead over there at first base. So
Cole Johnson this season batting .333, has struck out 15 times, does have 15 RBIs, tied for the league lead, or the team lead, I should say.
Yeah, Pelletier just got him to swing at an off-speed pitch. They just kind of waved at it, actually.
1-2 pitch coming. Change up, offered at. Under the glove there of Benoit. That's going to find eyes into left field. And a one-out single for Cole Johnson.
Yeah, swapping errors here in this inning, and we'll take it. Any break we can get, we'll take it.
Will go down as an error instead of a single there. So both teams now with an error. This one on Benoit, charging in from third. Bring up Garrett Demas, the pitcher, having a chance to help out himself here.
We've got plenty of speed on the base paths. Johnston's pretty quick himself. He's a pretty good-sized kid.
First pitch offered, popped up. And snagged there by Bates just in front of home plate. 2 away here in the bottom of the second.
Really would like to see us take advantage of this scoring opportunity here. I think the team that scores first is going to have the best chance of winning this game.
2 away, bottom of the second. Ken Maddox, the left fielder, will bat now for Plymouth Regional. Maddox only batting .136 this season.
Kenny had a rough go at it last year. He suffered a knee injury in football and missed most of the varsity baseball season last year, so he's really kind of a year behind in varsity experience.
Takes a ball to start this at bat. Offered at, sent at Bether Savage. Bobbled it, throw over in time for out number 3. So 3 base runners for the Bobcats, but they can't do anything with it. We head to the third inning, still tied 0-0. Back here, moving right along, we head to the top of the third inning. Lebanon looking for another productive inning of offense, but have yet to bring anyone home. But the hits have been coming.
Yeah, they've threatened several times. They've had runners on base, and they just can't seem to punch somebody in here. Garrett's done a great job under the pressure, and he's pounded the zone pretty well. And if he can keep that up, we're in good shape.
Get set to go. It'll be Benoit, Smith, and Williman 2 up for the Raiders here in the third. 2, 3, 4 in the order.
One thing I wanted to talk about here today is, if you're a baseball fan in the Plymouth area, we're in the process of trying to construct a batting cage down here for these boys behind the third base dugout. A permanent structure with some netting and a roof, and really provide them a good space to warm up hitting and to have a real bullpen with a pitching mound. So anybody out there interested in donating to that project, they could reach out to the varsity coach Mike Boyle and help out with that. Would be greatly appreciated.
And help out a team that continues to grow and continues to put a nice foothold in Division II.
Oh, absolutely.
Apologize for the wind noise on the microphone as the wind now picks up coming across the field. So we're underway here in the top of the third. Caleb Benoit back up to the plate. This one skips in the dirt. And the expected matchup for the winner of this one will be taking on most likely John Stark on Saturday, and that's a very critical matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Plymouth took the loss to him during the regular season, but I actually witnessed that game, and Plymouth was with them, actually had the lead for a long time, and then wheels kind of came off a little bit, but it would be a great matchup. I'd like to see it.
2-1 pitch from Demas finds the strike zone.
Just paints that outside corner with that fastball, and that's a tough pitch to hit.
Fastball inside. Benoit has to back away from it.
Tried to go up around the eyebrows on that one to get him wave at that high fastball again.
Makes the count full 3-2 here. Lifted to left center field. Now heading back is Costa. Near the fence and allowed out to start the third.
Yeah, my heart stuttered there for a second. It looked like he lost his footing and almost fell. Would have been tragedy with a routine fly ball like that.
Well, we notice here no warning track at the fence here at Dawson Field, so it makes it even more difficult for the outfielders. Caleb Smith, the first baseman, will bat now for Lebanon. He walked his first time up. Started off from Demas with a strike on the curveball.
So if he can throw that pitch for a strike and start batters off with it, it just gets him off balance right from the beginning.
Finds the strike zone again, and really impressed with Demas. Not only changing his pitches, fastball, curveball, changeup, but his elevation and his movement in and out.
Oh, absolutely. He's got great movement on the ball today. He's actually hitting his spots pretty well. Cole's framing those pitches for him, and he's having a great day.
The 0-2. Downstairs, strike 3, and another strikeout for Garrett Demas.
Again, he's found that low strike zone just around the knees, and he paints it. And it's a tough pitch to get your hands on with the type of acceleration that he has.
5th strikeout of the game, and 2 away now in the top of the 3rd. The Bobcats looking for a clean inning here. Jonathan Williman, the shortstop, will bat now.
That one in the dirt, I think the adrenaline's flowing a little bit. Garrett a little excited after that last punch out, and it seemed like he just maybe put a little bit too much on that. The key to today is to stay within himself and just, pitch his game and not try and do too much.
This one, Baxter at 3rd gathers it up, and a 1-2-3 inning here for Demas and the Bobcats. Really what Plymouth Regional needed. We will head to the bottom of the 3rd. Still scoreless here in this first round matchup. Fans, are you looking to advertise your business and would like to donate to a great cause? If so, contact GSSN at granitestatesn@gmail.com for great sponsorship opportunities for this year's Chad Football All-Star Game on Saturday, June 29th. GSSN will be live streaming the game from Wildcat Stadium at the University of New Hampshire for the first time ever. In addition, GSSN will be donating 50% of all sponsorship money raised back to Chad. Contact us today for more information and become a broadcast sponsor today. So off to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Bobcats had 3 base runners last time, Aaron, but still haven't gotten anyone past second base yet.
Yeah, very similar to the Leb. They've had their chances with runners on, and they haven't been able to put a ball into the outfield so that we can score that runner on second or third. And but it's early in the game. It's a lot of game left.
Brickley, first pitch offered, lifts this one to left field. And heading out, Williman from short. 1 up, 1 down here.
Yeah, I actually think that was Patrick Mom that lifted that, number 8.
So I am off in my order. And it was Mom. Yep, good for me. I have the book in front of me and it's still wrong, so you're right.
Patrick is senior, again, his last game, and he pops that out. I'm sure it's eating at him already.
Now to the top of the order with Henry Green, and 2 pitches, 2 outs here for Pelletier.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Plymouth players be a little more patient up there and get him into his pitch count a little bit deeper. I get it. They're excited. They're aggressive, and they were trying to be patient to begin with. They couldn't score runs, so maybe they're trying to jump on that first pitch fastball.
We saw in the first inning 2 full counts and a 2-2 count, even though it was a 1-2-3 inning for the Bobcats. But again, 2 pitches, 2 outs here in the 3rd. As Devlin Costa, the center fielder, offers on the first pitch.
Yeah, again, Devlin right after that first pitch. So maybe, maybe Coach talked to him a little bit and said, listen, let's jump on this kid. Let's not wait around. Let's try and get that first fastball.
Costa 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. He'll take a ball on that. Slider missing off the plate. that's going to hit him on the elbow. So a 2-out hit by pitch and a base runner on for the Bobcats.
Yeah, that could be costly. Devlin's fast. He is one of the top 3 in stolen bases on the team, and I would suspect that he's going to try and steal a base here, maybe 2.
Bring up Nick Quayle, who's 0 for 1. He struck out looking to end the first inning in his first at-bat. Sun continues to poke out from the clouds. Thought about running there was Costa. This one's fouled off.
Yeah, not a very aggressive lead though. And Quayle just kind of took a swipe at that pitch. It wasn't a great pitch to hit, but again, the first pitch swinging.
Throw over, diving back safely there is Costa.
Yeah, he knows that he's a stolen base threat, so they're going to try and keep him as close to that bag as possible.
Changeup misses low and away.
Now, Nick Quayle, a senior, pitcher, first base, outfielder. He's really kind of a utility guy, does it all. He can put his hands on the ball and drive it to a gap here, too.
Off and running, there is Costa. This one's dropped by Wooleman. First stolen base of the game for the Bobcats.
Yeah, in there in plenty of time. He didn't even slide. He knew he had the bag, and he's dangerous like that. I would suspect if the count is right here, he's going to go for the steal to third base as well.
2-1 the count. Still only 8 pitches this inning for Pelletier. This one lifted, foul out of play off to the left.
If Quayle can put a base hit into the outfield, Devlin's going to score on that hit.
Quayle ready for the 2-2 pitch from Pelletier. 1 on, 2 outs, bottom of the third inning. Scoreless ball game. His fastball misses high.
Almost got away from him, and he moved that runner down 90 feet away.
This one, shot foul on the first base side. We'll do it again, 3-2.
Quayle just staying alive there, and not a great pitch to hit, but fouling off so that he can stay in there.
Long wait for the ball to move moved out of play in the foul territory, but we'll get the pitch here downstairs, and a walk with 2 outs.
Yeah, what started off an inning where we hit the first 2 pitches for outs has turned into 2 men on and a scoring opportunity here. Bring
up Andrew Baxter, the third baseman, was hit by a pitch in the head last inning.
Big spot for Andrew right now. He's, like I said, he's a sophomore, but he's been around a while, played a lot of baseball.
First pitch offered. Lifts this one to left center. That one with a great grab by Chickering in center field to retire the side. He tracked that one absolutely perfectly. And the Bobcats will strand 2. We'll head to the 4th inning, tied 0-0 here on the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At NFHSLearn.com, you can find over 60 courses for coaches, administrators, officials, parents, students, and performing arts programs, including over 25 free courses such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. For more information, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Regional High School in this first round NHIAA Division II matchup. And my, oh my, what a catch in center field, Aaron, we just saw from Chickering.
Yeah, what a jump he had on that. He read that the whole way. And, when he caught that ball, he was at the fence. And, the ball arguably could have been out of the park if he doesn't make the catch.
Close to even bouncing off his glove and having the assist over the fence.
Yeah, would have scored too. It was a big play for Lebanon. Chickering, again, you just can't say enough about that play.
5-6-7 here for Lebanon Raiders, the 11th seed in the tournament. entering the top of the fourth inning. Bates, Luthauser, Dupree expected.
And again, we're seeing early on that 11th seed really doesn't mean anything. It's just a number, and this Lebanon team is very competitive.
Calvin Bates, the catcher, will lead off the Raiders. He'll take a ball down and in.
You know, Devlin needs to settle in, get right back to work here, work quick like he had been, and, pound that zone.
Bates 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging in the first inning. Lifts this one foul and well out of play on the right field line.
We got a little guy over there, a Thundercat baseball player, trying to make that catch over there.
Came in a little bit too early on that one. He'll find his angles. 1-1 pitch from Demas. Fastball, bottom corner for a strike.
What a beauty. What a great pitch. If he can, he's been living there. It's a great pitch, hard to hit.
Quickly the 1-2. Just misses inside.
Yeah, he goes after that outside corner with that bell-tie fastball again. He just didn't get the call.
Two pitch. Upstairs. Ball 3.
Good thought there. He elevated, accelerated a little bit, and, the Lebanon player thought about swinging at that pitch. Now he's got to get back to work. He's got to throw a strike here in this situation.
Third full count against Demas this game. This one skips in and a leadoff walk to Bates.
Yeah, not what you want to start the inning here is to put runners on base, give them a free pass. We really want them to swing that bat and give your defense a chance.
Jorgen Luthauser, the right fielder, will climb into the batter's box. Luthauser 0 for 1 with a strikeout. One of the 5 to be punched out by Demas this game. Snap throw over. Just diving back is Bates.
Yeah, Bates had a big lead there. I think he was going to go on that first pitch, and great observation by Demas to check on him.
Another quick one, trying to get him stepping off for the lead.
Yeah, they may have something, some statistics or some inside scoop that we don't that leads them to believe that Bates is a threat to steal a bag here because they're working hard to keep him on.
Now the first pitch bunted down. Johnston bobbles it around. He was calling off everyone to make the play and took his eye off the ball. And a bunt single here for Luthauser.
Yeah, it would have been a tough play to make. By the time he got out and got after that ball, Luthauser was halfway down the base path, and a tough play all around. But a great execution on Lebanon's part, playing the small ball.
So 2-1 with no outs, and the designated hitter in Joseph Dupree will step in. He walked his first time up.
Again, down in the order here, we want to pitch to him. We want to make him hit.
Bump laid down. Nice play by Quayle. Throw over will double off Luthauser, and 2 away on that play.
What a great play. What a heads-up play by Nick Quayle. Again, a senior, been around a long time. He was charging on that bunt, made a sliding catch, doubled the runner off at first, gets, Demas out of a sticky situation.
So craziness here in this game. Still, Bates couldn't advance. He's at second with Kyle Pelletier, the pitcher, stepping into the batter's box. Now 2 away. Fastball missing downstairs.
Yeah, Demas can actually, play the corners here. You got first base open with 2 outs. You don't necessarily have to pitch to him with a runner in scoring position. Play the odds, get him to hit your pitch, make a mistake, get him out. Or, worst case, you put him on first. Now you got forces at first, second, and third,
He pounds the strike zone to even the count at 1-1. Pelletier reached on an error his first time up in the second inning. Change up offered at, grounded at Baxter, throw across the diamond in time for out number 3. So 2 base runners on to start the inning for the Raiders, but craziness ensues from there once again as we will head to the bottom of the 4th inning, still tied 0-0. To the bottom of the 4th inning we go. Brickley, Johnson, Demas due up for Plymouth Regional High School in this scoreless first-round matchup. Big swing and a miss by Owen Brickley to start this at bat.
Yeah, right in the heart of the lineup here. I'd like to see you get some base runners on and make some magic happen here.
Brickley leads on reached, easy for me to say, on a fielder's choice, his first time up.
He's got power too. You know, watching him take some batting practice, he was putting a few balls out of the park here. So
He'll send this one to center, and Chickering makes an easier catch in center field this time. One away in the bottom of the fourth.
yeah, hits a laser though. The ball was 10 feet off the ground, if that, the whole way out. You know, he made good contact.
Bring up Cole Johnston, the catcher. He reached on an error back in the second inning. Great excitement here in the ballpark. We thank you for joining us live here in the Granite State Sports Network. If you're watching on replay on Pemmy Baker TV, thank you for all your support all season long.
Couldn't ask for a better day to play a playoff baseball game, I'll tell you that.
This fastball misses high and inside. Yeah, different than the flooding we had in the White Mountains games here a week ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming to get here with Mother Nature. She hasn't cooperated this spring, and, you know, a lot of these North Country teams wait a lot longer to get on the field than anybody else. Field
looks great right now for the playoffs. This one lifted straight back in out of play.
You know, the university teams down here at Plymouth State, you know, barely got onto the field for any home games for their spring sports, which was a shame for those kids down there, you know.
You know, when I worked softball with Jim Carey last week for Senior Day, we talked about that and swung on and missed. So strike three for Johnston. 2 up, 2 down, and Pelletier has his third strikeout of the afternoon.
Pelletier's been efficient here. He's, you know, pounded the zone. He's kept the batters off balance. And other than probably the last couple of hits off him that they made plays for him, nobody's really made a lot of solid contact today against him.
Garrett Demas will step in. He'll take a pinch in the dirt. We talked about it, looking at Plymouth State women's lacrosse. Their first real home game was the conference championship game at the beginning of June.
Which had to be postponed, if I remember right, because
the semifinals,
yes. The semifinals, because the field was a swamp.
It was unplayable. They tried to warm up for the semifinals on Friday at the beginning of the month. Had to be postponed and then played at Laconia High School for turf before coming back to campus on Sunday as Demas offers on that one, quickly down 1-2.
Yeah, it doesn't do a lot for recruitment and retention for them, that's for sure.
Baseball only had 6 games at home. Softball only 6 games. Check swing offered at, sent foul on the first base side.
Yeah, Demas just trying to stay alive there and fouling off a third strike and, you know, trying to give himself a chance to get his hands on one here.
But even with the high school sports, I know we talked about it in the North Country as well, but here at Plymouth, we saw the snowbanks extremely high, and a punch out here. Another strikeout for Pelletier. He gets the Bobcats 1-2-3 for the second time this afternoon. We head to the 5th, scoreless, on the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV. Welcome back to Plymouth Regional High School. Dan Salzer alongside Aaron Como. Thank you for joining us here in the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV. As we head to the top of the 5th inning, moving right along here in this one, still scoreless in this 6-11 matchup in the first round of the NHIAA Division II baseball tournament.
Yeah, both teams trying to make something happen here. They've had runners in scoring position. They just can't seem to come up with that one big break to crack this thing open. And I think it's going to happen at some point by somebody. And I believe whoever cracks first has a good chance of winning this game.
Well, defense has been shining for both teams this afternoon. We saw it with a great grab by Quayle on the pop-out by Dupree on the bunt attempt. And then doubling off Luthauser at first. Seen some great catches in center field by Chickering for the Raiders. We'll see what the Raiders can do here at the plate. 9-1-2, 2 up in the order. Bourne, Chickering, and Benoit. Bourne reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning. He'll take a ball on the fastball high and inside.
Devlin coming up around the numbers there, trying to get him to, take a hack at a high fastball.
Another fastball for a strike. Speaking about tournament time, Bobcats softball with a great win in their first round matchup yesterday at home against St. Thomas.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great win. And I'll tell you, as a fan and as a coach of softball, it was great to see some players on our team get involved that had minimal impact up until now. Not because of lack of effort, just, opportunity or whatever. And, our bottom of our order was shining, and they played great. And it's always good to get a home playoff win at home, especially when you're a senior.
The foul pop out there by Bourne. Grabbed up by Johnston. We'll head to the top of the order with Trey Chickering, the center fielder, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout this afternoon.
It's especially special for me this year. I have a daughter, Grace Como, is a senior, and she's a captain and plays center field for the Bobcats on the softball team. And so, I've watched her play since she was 6.
This one, nice backhand snag by Green. Deep throw from short in time for out number 2. What an impressive throw there from Green.
Yeah, there's that all-state shortstop that we know in Henry Green. He has that ability. And I'll tell you, one thing he worked on this year was his velocity, his throw across the diamond. He knew that, if he wants to go to the next level, he's going to have to come up with a little bit more steam on that. And we saw it there to get the out.
Kobe Benoit will climb into the batter's box, the third baseman. 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out.
Yeah, back to softball. Like I said, my daughter is a senior, and every game could be her last. I've watched her play since she was 6. When she was 12, we myself and Ross Johnston took a group of 12-year-old girls. We qualified for the World Series. We took them to Alachua, Florida for a week for an experience. And the thought that every game might be her last is it's tough to swallow.
Fastball just missing. Count 2-0, and it really seems as though Bobcat softball has really gelled in the second half of the season this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting the season, we had a tough schedule. We played, a couple of the top 3 or 4 teams in the division. We knew it was going to be a rough start, but I really think that we became that team that teams are not going to want to play in the playoffs. They're like, we don't want to see Plymouth, because they even in the losses, they knew we were a better team.
With that win yesterday, a matchup with Co Brown on Saturday afternoon as a walk given up to Benoit with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, not a walk you want to see. Starts off very efficient, 2 up, 2 down, and then you put a runner on with a freebie. Again, we really want to give your defense a chance here.
Time, though, getting under the tag there is Benoit for the stolen base.
Yeah, I was going to say the only time we've seen anyone take what looked like a stolen base was within a hit-and-run situation, and as I'm speaking, boom, there he goes,
1-1 pitch. Fastball taken above the letters.
Cole was set up high on that. I don't know if they knew something, scouting report or what, but he was set up pretty high. He called for that high fastball.
Slow roller down the third base line, and it will roll foul.
Baxter with a little pep in his step there after he got burnt earlier in the game on that slow roller. He took a little more aggressive approach to that ball.
2-2 pitch to Smith. Check swing, doesn't offer. Makes the count full. Two outs, 1 on here. Top of the 5th in a scoreless first round matchup. Inside, and correction, now it's a full count. Good to have my book wrong here in right field.
Looks like he went with an off-speed pitch there. Tried to get him to grab on it. He didn't. Pretty patient hitter here, but I think he'll pound the zone here with that belt-tie fastball.
Big swing and a miss, and the fastball upstairs. The sixth strikeout of the game for Garrett Demas, and he'll get out of another jam. We head to the bottom of the fifth, still tied at 0 here on the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At NFHSLearn.com, you can find over 60 courses for coaches, administrators, officials, parents, students, and performing arts programs, including over 25 free courses. Visit the NFHS Learning Center.
Back here live at the bottom of the fifth inning. 8-9-1 for the Bobcats due up. First pitch offered by bottom of the fifth inning.
Yeah, Maddox just missed that fastball. He got under it a little bit. He comes up an eighth of an inch, and that ball's driven out of the park.
Another big loud out for the Bobcats in this ball game. You have that class act group of kids that really have the leadership, not only for the rest of the athletes, but the rest of the student body.
Absolutely. It's been, a tradition here in Plymouth. You hear the term pride and tradition a lot, but, the coaches over the years have passed down to generations and generations that, your actions, you speak with your actions on the field, and at the end of the game, you let the scoreboard do the talking and you be respectful and 40 plus years of tradition here in Plymouth.
So a ground out there for Mom. Henry Green, the shortstop, will bat now. He'll send this one, a loud shot to center. Chickering tracking it down again, another catch at the fence. And for the third time this afternoon, the Bobcats go 1, 2, 3. It's getting late in the ball game. We head to the sixth, still tied 0-0. To the top of the sixth inning we go. And a defensive game for sure here, Aaron Como, we've seen this afternoon.
Yeah, it's been a gem defensively. Some big plays on both sides. It's kind of been strange, actually. Some of the plays that have been made. Henry Green with that backhand deep throw across the diamond. Quayle with the catch on the bunt there. The center fielder Chickering making two great catches out here in center field that are arguably extra base hits. It has definitely been a pitcher's duel and a defensive game today.
We talk about it. Both teams have had a few hits here and there, but all of them singles this afternoon.
Yeah, I really feel like the Bobcats have gotten after Pelletier a little bit better than the Lebanon players have gotten after Demas. They've made solid contact, and I think if he stays in the game, they're gonna climb into it.
Williman, Bates, Luthauser due up for the Raiders here in the sixth inning. Jonathan Williman 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout looking. Fastball, line to left field, and a leadoff single for Lebanon.
Yeah, he put good bat on that ball. First pitch for a ball in the dirt. Second pitch, bell-type fastball in. He gets his hands on it and rips it to left field.
Bring up Calvin Bates, the catcher, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Exit on a liner, quickly 2 away.
Very efficient. He needs to stay with that, stay in that groove, be efficient here. He a couple of times in the game here, he's let off, got the first 2 batters out, and then he walks a batter, and then they get somebody else in scoring position, and then he has to buckle back down. I'd like to see him just be efficient here and mow this kid down.
Right fielder number 15, and Jorgen Luthauser will step in. He fouls this one off. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a bunt single his last time up. Takes another strike here.
Is that strike in the bottom of the zone again? He's found it, and he's worked it all game.
Trying to get a second 1, 2, 3 inning. This one lifted to the left. Charging in is Maddox, and he'll make the catch. The 1, 2, 3 inning complete for the Bobcats. They'll try to get the offense going as we head to the bottom of the sixth. Still scoreless here on GSSN and Pemmy Baker TV. The NFHS Network is your only home for live broadcasts of the 2019 NHIAA Spring Championship games. Catch all the championships from boys lacrosse and girls lacrosse, baseball and softball around the Granite State right here on the NFHS Network. Spring Championships start June 4th and run through the 10th. Again, only right here on the NFHS Network.
Devlin led off the in and there first pitch swinging. Flies out to center field. Again, Pelletier's still in the game. I'd like to see the Bobcat hitters be a little more patient here and work him over a little bit.
Costa still looking for his first hit of the game. Bring up Nick Quayle, the first baseman, who walked and struck out today. First pitch offered again, inside-out swing sent to Bourne in left field, and 2 pitches and 2 outs for the Bobcats here in the 6th.
Yeah, he put a good bat on that. It was inside-out swing, opposite field. Left fielder actually looked a little shaky there for a second.
Andrew Baxter, number 14, the third baseman, will step up to the plate.
Last time at bat, Andrew gets robbed out here in center field with arguably what could have been a home run or at least a double to score 2. And let's see what he does here at this at bat.
Takes the first pitch for a ball and the fastball inside. Was also hit by a pitch in the head in the previous at bat,
which speaks volumes about his his character, his fortitude, whatever you want to call it. The first time up to the plate, he takes one off the melon. Next time he steps in the batter's box, he hits one to the fence.
Swings on the changeup downstairs. Count now 2-1. Fastball taken for a strike to even the count up. Pelletier trying to work quickly this 6th. Chopper set foul, third base line.
Looked like something off speed there. Andrew just trying to foul it off to stay alive here.
Pelletier looking for a sub-10 pitch inning. Chopper again, foul, third base line.
Yeah, Baxter gets that fastball middle in and he turns on it and just foul.
Still a great crowd around the field here this afternoon. Beautiful day for baseball. Upstairs, down the line, and fair. A late call. The third base umpire rounding and diving for second, and safe is Baxter for a 2-out double here in the 6th.
Again, he gets that fastball middle in. Why Pelletier would feed him that twice after he fouled it the first time, I don't know, but he does, and Andrew takes advantage of it, rips it down the line, and he has himself a double.
And it looks like the Bobcats are going to have a pinch runner at second for Baxter.
Looks like Jared King to me from here coming in, a junior.
And it is Jared King. So this will bring up Owen Brickley once again, who's 0 for 1 with a line out to center. Also reached on a fielder's choice this afternoon.
Yeah, this is who you want up to the plate in this situation. Leads a team in batting average. He's got the power. He's got the speed. He's a senior. So, captain, this is what you want. This is the situation that Plymouth wants, and it's what Owen Brickley wants as a senior.
Check swing, and they're going to say he went around for a strike.
Yeah, I think Pelletier is aware of that situation too. Tried to send him a message, and that first pitch came up around the eyebrows there.
1-1 the count to Brickley. Reaching for this one downstairs. Slow rotor. Williman over to first in time for out number 3. So a 2-out double for Andrew Baxter, but the Bobcats can't bring him home. We head to the 7th inning, still scoreless here on the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At NFHSLearn.com, you can find over 60 courses for coaches, administrators, officials, parents, students, and performing arts programs, including over 25 free courses such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. For more information, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
So to the 7th inning we go. And so far, Aaron, what stood out to you for both teams in this game?
Both pitchers have been very efficient. They've both pounded the zone. They've been very selective with locating their pitches. And defensively, both sides have played excellent baseball. It's been very sound baseball.
Bottom of the order, 2 up for Lebanon. Dupree, Pelletier, and Bourne expected to bat here in the top of the 7th in this scoreless first round matchup in Division 2. Dupree is 0 for 1. Does have a walk today. Started off with a ball downstairs.
Yeah, going after that low strike, just a little low, didn't get the call. He's gotten that call a few times today, so I don't blame him for going after it.
Lays off another one. Quickly, the count is 2-0. Again, he's the one who had that bunt pop out to Quayle, charging in from first on that double play back in the 4th inning.
Yeah, I really want to see Demas go after this bottom of the order here. He needs to pound the zone, make him put bat on ball, and let his defense help him out.
Offers at this one. Green, nice snag, throw over in time for out number 1.
Just like that. Throw strikes, let them put it in play. You got a good, solid defense behind you. They'll make the plays. You got to have faith in them, trust in them. And, sooner or later, they're going to get you some runs. I just hope he can hold out for that.
Stepping up will be the pitcher, number 18, in Kyle Pelletier. Pelletier, 0 for 1, reached on an error and grounded out this afternoon. It has been pretty much lights out on the mound for the Raiders. Curveball finds the strike zone.
Yeah, he's been very efficient today. I'm not up close to the field, so it's kind of tough to tell what his velocity is like. To me, it seems like Demas has got a little bit more velocity on his fastball. But, Pelletier's crafty. He's hitting his spots. He's got that off-speed stuff, and, he's kept the score 0-0 here.
Well, speaking of fastball, Demas shows him one there, and it's fouled straight back over the backstop fence. Quickly, an 0-2 count. Change up downstairs offered at, and Johnson's going to apply the tag for out number 2.
Yeah, great pitch there. And a great pitch, to have confidence in your catcher to throw. That the sophomore behind the dish is going to make that stop and come up and get the out.
So just like that, 2 up, 2 down for Lebanon here in the top of the 7th, and Cooper Bourne, the left fielder, will step into the batter's box.
Bourne, base hit last inning, I believe, ripped one hard, an inside fastball to left field for a single.
This one fouled off. Curveball trying to get the outside part of the plate, just misses.
Yeah, it must have just missed. It looked like a good pitch from here.
And chance for the Bobcats to walk off. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Still scoreless here on the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV. To the bottom of the 7th we go. And Aaron, what do the Bobcats need to do to walk it off here at home?
I think they got to be a little more patient at the plate, stop jumping on that first pitch, and really trying to find their pitch, select their pitch, and drive it somewhere. And I think the bottom of the order here has to produce. The bottom of the order has to get on for the top so we can knock some runs around.
Colt Johnston, the catcher, up at the plate. Quickly ahead 2-0 in the count against Pelletier. And for the first time this afternoon, we can hear the Bobcat dugout from right field.
Yeah, I was just going to say that little life over there. I think they're trying to get into Pelletier here and maybe rattle him a little bit.
Liner right up the middle and a leadoff single for the Bobcats here in the bottom of the 7th. And a chance now
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. A sophomore catcher coming in a big situation, bottom of the 7th, and, he leads off with a base hit up the middle. And, we're right in the heart of the order here, and hopefully we can get him into scoring position and get him in here.
Well, a chance to play hero for Garrett Demas, the pitcher, in the 7th slot. He's 0 for 2 today. Pop out to Bates at home plate, and they strike out in the 4th. Shows bunt, squares it down, and misses.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a strike. It looked a little low. I'm thinking coach wants him bunting strikes here, and it's a sacrifice. It's not a bunt for a base hit. So, again, don't let the situation be too big for you. Stay within yourself.
Smart, try to get that runner in scoring position at second with only one out.
Especially with Kenny Maddox coming up, he hit one back here deep at the right field fence that he actually missed. He's a threat to hit the long ball, and we get a runner in scoring position, and, Kenny can do the work.
3-step lead for Johnston over at first base. Bunt shown once again. He'll pull back on the fastball inside to Demas.
And there, Demas a little more selective that time, recognized it wasn't a strike, pulled his bat back. And again, the Bobcat bench over there is really whooping it up at this point.
Don't know how much you can hear in our microphones here, but it's a lot of energy brought to the field. This one bunt fouled straight back. And the count now 1-2.
Yeah, unfortunately, Demas got himself in a hole here, and he's going to have to swing the bat. We don't want to go out on a bunt third strike foul here.
Pelletier has pitched brilliantly for Lebanon here this afternoon. Trying to avoid a jam in the bottom of the 7th and extend this game. Turned on, heading down the left field line in foul territory, and it will drop out of play.
Demas is definitely a threat for the long ball. A few games ago, we watched him hit one over here off the ski jump. So if he gets his pitch, he's a threat to end the game right here.
He's got 2 home runs on this season. Does have 12 RBIs. Pitcher trying to help out his own cause. A loud strike there. Count at 1-2. No outs, bottom of the 7th. Tied 0-0. Throw over, checking on Johnston. Dives back easily.
Yeah, that might have been an indication, too, that Pelletier wasn't comfortable on the mound there. Maybe he didn't like the pitch the catcher called, and he just took the opportunity to check throw over to first base.
Check swing, offered at strike 3. 1 out here in the 7th.
Gets him. It's the second time that he's gotten Demas to wave at that off-speed pitch on that outside corner there.
Ken Maddox, the left fielder, again, we talked about it a moment ago, had a chance to right field his last time up, but he's 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. He's going to show bunt again. And misses.
Yeah, they got to execute this bunt here. Mike Boyle wants to get his runner in scoring position, and the only way to do that for sure is to bunt him over, and they need to execute in this situation.
And misses again. And a tough one there. Maddox quickly down 0-2.
You got a senior at the plate like that, and you call for a bunt. You just expect they're going to execute. But again, now he's in a hole, and he's going to have to swing the bat.
Does so. Lifts this one to right, heading back towards the fence. And a great catch by Lucier for the Raiders to keep this game going. Another spectacular catch by the outfield of Lebanon.
Again, a highlight reel play there by the right fielder of Lebanon, right at the fence. He goes up. He's a tall kid. He makes the play. Arguably, that ball's going off the fence, and, we could have runners at third and second real quick.
Jorgen Luthhauser. Another spectacular catch. 2 away for Patrick Malm. Swing and a miss there.
Yeah, big swing by Patrick. I think it's all or nothing here in this situation for him. He's gonna take a hack at this ball and try and end the game with one swing.
Malm 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. He'll take another strike here.
Pelletier has pitched well here in this situation. A little bit of pressure, bottom of the 7th, leadoff batter gets on, and then, he's gone through a whole string of seniors here.
Lebanon trying to extend the game. Curveball, strike three. We're heading to extras. A beautiful pitch there from Pelletier. He's backed up by the defense, so after giving up a leadoff single to Cole Johnston, able to get the Bobcats 1-2-3 after that. We head to the 8th inning here on GSSN and Pemmy Baker TV.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At NFHSLearn.com, you can find over 60 courses for coaches, administrators, officials, parents, students, and performing arts programs, including over 25 free courses such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. For more information, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
So we head to extra innings here in this first round matchup in the 6-11 game between Plymouth Regional High School and Lebanon High School. Thank you for joining us live here on the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV. Dan Salzer alongside Aaron Como. And Aaron, we talked about it during the break. Bobcats just failed to execute there in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, you know, runner on first, nobody out. 2 attempts at bunts, they fail, put themselves in a hole. You know, you have to execute in that situation. Coach Boyle planned for a run for the win, and you know, they just came up short there. But you know, if Demas can be efficient here, get us back into that dugout. I like where we stand coming up in the bottom of the 8th. We got the top of the order coming up, and you know, arguably our best hitters. So I still think we're in good shape here if we can get out of this inning efficiently without Lebanon scoring a run.
So we'll head to the top of the order for the Raiders. Chickering, Benoit, and Smith, 1, 2, 3, 2 up in the 8th inning. Scoreless here in this first round thriller.
Both pitchers going deep into this game, into extra innings. I don't think we've seen that this year. Any pitcher from any team pitching 7 straight, let alone going 8 into the extra innings. Garrett deals a fastball there for a strike, and you know, 8th inning, 1st inning, he looks the same to me. He seems like he still's got his velocity there.
Chickering today as he'll line this one right up the middle for a leadoff single here in the 8th inning. I was going to say he was 1 for 3 going into that bat. Now 2 for 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah, he's had a great day at the plate. You know, he's put 2 balls in play for base hits, and he's been on base, and you know, he's given himself and his team a shot here.
They'll send the third baseman, number 1, and Kobe Benoit to the plate. He is 1 for 2 with a single, a fly out, and a walk with a stolen base.
I would expect to see a bunt here in this situation, just like we tried. They're going to try and get a runner in scoring position and knock him in here.
Throw over, checking on Chickering. He dives back safely. About a 2.5-step lead now for him at first base as we get set for this at-bat. Bunt popped up just in front of Demas. Only play is at first, and 1 away here.
Well executed bunt there. He gets it out away from the catcher, so there's no chance to throw to second to get the lead runner. Demas has to field it out in front of the mound and make the out at first, and that puts the runner in scoring position for the Lebanon Raiders.
Bring up Caleb Smith, the first baseman, who's 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts and a walk.
I think it's important for Garrett to just you know, go right after the hitters here and make them put the ball in play, or you know, go for the strikeouts here and not worry about the base runner.
Looking back at second, Demas steps off the rubber. First time Lebanon has had a player in scoring position since Benoit back in the 5th. High and inside. Benoit has to back away from the plate, or correction, Smith does.
Looks like he went after a curveball there and just didn't get on top of it enough, and it kind of sailed away on him.
Demas a long look at second. 3 looks now and will step off the mound.
He obviously, believes there's a steal threat here with the runner at second base, because you're right, he gave him an extra long time. I'm surprised the batter didn't call timeout to break his rhythm.
This one missing downstairs. Count now 2-0. That one finds the strike zone.
Again, good velocity on that fastball. He paints that outside corner.
The 2-1 upstairs, tomahawk chop, pulled foul, third base side.
Gets him to chase on that high inside fastball, and really, there's no way you're going to get your hands on that to hit for a base hit.
We'll leave in the count at 2-2 here. Top of the 8th inning, the scoreless ball game. It's been a thriller to watch all around. Demas ready for the 2-2. Curveball lifted. That one's going to just get onto the grass in left field, charging over and making the catch is Green.
That's a huge out in that situation. Runner at second, to get that out is big. First base is open here, no pressure. Really, Demas just needs to dish to the batter and get the out at the plate.
2 away, top of the 8th. Jonathan Willem in the shortstop will step up to the plate. He is 1 for 3 with a single, a strikeout, and a ground out. And he singled back in the 6th and then was picked off on a beautiful throw over from Garrett Demas.
Yeah, efficiency here is important. Like I said, just, get down the hill, pound that strike zone, and, go for the strikeout. Worst case scenario, ball gets in play, and, his defense is going to pick him up here.
Fastball, this one, line to left. Rounding and coming home is Chickering. Play at the plate, not in time. Lebanon with a 1-run lead here in the top of the 8th inning on an RBI single for Jonathan Willeman.
Yeah, great execution there by Lebanon, getting the runner on, bunting him over to second base, and as we see, the base hit scores the run, and that's what Plymouth tried to do in the previous inning, and they just fell short here.
So a big play there. Bobcats find themselves in a hold with 2 outs in the 8th, and Calvin Bates, the catcher, stepping up to the plate. Bates 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Also walked this afternoon. A lob throw over to first, checking on Willeman.
I think Demas just trying to remind him there of the last time he was at first base.
Not the same emphasis on that throw this time. Fastball. Snap throw down, and getting back, standing up there is Willeman.
Yeah, that's that snap throw by Johnston. If you, lollygag on the base paths, he's going to try and throw in on you and sneaking out like he did earlier in the game.
I believe it was taken for a strike on that pitch. This one misses for a ball. Bates trying to keep the inning going. Swung on a high strike there above the letters.
Gets him to go after that high cheese, and with Demas's velocity, he's just not going to catch up with that.
So the biggest thing is, how do the Bobcats focus to not only end this inning, but try to tie it up or win it in the bottom of the 8th?
Yeah, I think you got to play for the tie. If it remains 1-0, you got to get your leadoff runner on base any way you can, and you got to bunt him over and give yourself a chance.
2-2 pitch. Sent at Brickley. Nice grab at second. That retires the side, but not before Willeman's RBI single that drove in Chickering. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Last chance for the Bobcats here at home. Lebanon leads 1-0 here on the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV. Back here, the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV. Last chance for the Bobcats. It's the bottom of the 8th inning in extras. Now trailing by 1. But, Aaron, it is the top of the order. 1, 2, 3 for Plymouth Regional.
Yeah, we're in a good spot here. We're at the top. We've got our best hitters coming up. We've got a lot of speed in the top 2 or 3 batters. We need to get a runner on base. We need to bunt them over and put ourselves in a situation like Lebanon did and try and score a run. We're playing for a tie here at this point.
Green now with a 1-1 count. He's 0 for 3 in the leadoff spot. Ground out and 2 flyouts.
He has hit the ball solid, though. He earlier in the game hit one back to the fence over there in left center. So, he's seeing the ball well. He's putting his hands on it.
Takes that one inside. Lines this one up the middle, right at Williman. Throw over to first. And 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Not what the Bobcats wanted there. Really wanted to try and get Green on base. He's one of the top 3 steal threats on the team, and really would have been great to have him on first base.
Bring up one of the power hitters, the center fielder, number 9, Devlin Costa. Costa 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch, also has a strikeout and a flyout to center.
Pelletier dishing there with a fastball, and again, he looks just as good in the 8th inning as he did in the 1st inning.
Paints the bottom corner inside for strike 1. And this one's going to be fouled off Costa. And quickly, Costa down 0-2.
Devlin needs to be patient here. I doubt Pelletier's going to go right after him here. He's got a couple of pitches to waste. He's going to try and get him to swing at his pitch.
Fouled off. Only first base side into the bleachers on the hill. Costa stays alive. Count 0-2 here. 1 away. Bottom of the 8th. Bobcats trailing by 1. Defensive swing, and Costa stays alive again.
Yeah, he goes after that off-speed pitch, just tries to foul it off, trying to fight for his life here.
Again, Lebanon already with a win over Plymouth Regional on May 15th. Chopper sent at short, and a seeing eye single with 1 out for the Bobcats in Costa here in the 8th.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there in that situation, down 0-2. It was actually a high inside fastball. He kind of had to tomahawk a little bit, but got enough barrel on it to get it between 3rd and short. And, he's a stolen base threat, and if he gets on second, he's definitely a threat to score to a hit to the outfield.
Another big hitter, and Nick Quayle, the first baseman, will bat now. He's walked, also struck out looking, and lined out to left his last time up. Off and running. Here is Costa. Throw down, not in time. And the Bobcats have the tying run in scoring position.
Yeah, super fast there. He was in there easily before the tag. Plenty of time. He actually didn't have a giant lead either. He was pretty conservative with his lead, but he's so fast that, he's in there well before the tag.
It's the second stolen base of the game for Costa. Tying run 180 feet away. Liner, that one just missing, foul on the 3rd base line.
Yeah, great offer by Quayle there again, trying to go opposite field. He hit a nice solid hit to the left fielder the last time at bat, I believe, and he's trying to hit to that opposite side of the field.
So it'll make the count 1-1 to Quayle. Again, no update on the game at John Stark in that matchup. Offered that upstairs, a big swing and a miss there for Quayle.
Yeah, gets him reaching on that one. Needs to be a little more patient here.
1 out, bottom of the 8th. Lebanon with a 1-0 lead. A 1-2 count here to Nick Quayle. Pelletier delivers. Offered at up the middle. Diving for it, Williman. Throw over. Not in time. It pulls Smith off the bag. And the Bobcats have the winning run at first base and runners on the corner with 1 out here in the 8th.
Yeah, just a defensive swing by Quayle there. Again, a ball off the plate, but with 2 strikes, he's got to go for it. He puts a bat on it, gets it up the middle, and it's just enough up the middle to get the shortstop going glove side. He trips himself up a little bit, and, he's got himself a hit. And
it brings up the big bat of Andrew Baxter back into the game after being pinch run for in the 6th inning for Jared King, and he was absolutely robbed by Chickering back in the 3rd at the center field fence.
Yeah, I wonder what Coach Boyle's going to do here. Is he gonna try and lay a bunt down for the tie and score Devlin from third base? Is he going to let him swing and maybe do something even bigger?
Again, let him swing, get the fly on the sacrifice, would tie the game with 1 out. Lays a bunt, a big pop-up, foul territory, and snagged beautifully by Benoit, and 2 down here. Oh, my.
Just another one of those crazy plays, you know. You got to execute in that situation, and, Baxter pops one up. Third baseman makes a great play. Fortunately, neither one of our base runners were caught, too far off their bags and got picked off for double.
So all eyes now on Owen Brickley, and that really churned the events here in the bottom of the 8th. He needs a hit or at least a walk, something to keep the game going. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. He'll take a strike.
Big situation for him here, but he's no stranger to pressure. He's a senior, he's a captain. He's been playing baseball for a long time.
This one just missing below the knees. Evens the count at 1-1. Tying run 90 feet away at third and Costa. Offered at and a big swing and a miss, and the Bobcats are down to their final strike.
Yeah, that was a huge hack by Brickley. He's going for everything there with that swing.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Bobcats need something here to continue this game. The 1-2. Swung on, popped up, heading towards shallow right field. And Luthauser underneath it to make the catch that ends the game. And Lebanon High School, the 11th seed, upsets the 6th seeded Bobcats of Plymouth Regional High School in this first round matchup of the NHIAA Division II tournament. And what an exciting one here we had today, Aaron, but a heartbreaker for the Bobcats.
Yeah, a heartbreaker for those seniors to go out like this. And like I said at the beginning of the game, 11 seed, 6 seed, it really didn't matter. Lebanon had a great baseball team, and their schedule was very similar to ours. And, they had similar opponents and put up similar scores. They beat us earlier in the year. So there really was no underdog in this game at all. And, to see Devlin, and those seniors and Garrett Demas and Kenny Maddox, Pat Mom, Nick Quayle, Owen Brickley, to go out their senior year like this, it's tough to watch, especially with Demas pitched such a great game. I mean, he probably arguably pitched the best game of his career today.
Really looking at things, it was a great battle, but walk us through the game a little bit more, Aaron, and what stood out to you for both sides in this first round matchup?
Well, great defense to begin with. Both sides of the ball made some plays that you normally don't see. I mean, today was filled with highlight reel defensive plays. The other thing that stood out to me was great pitching. Both pitchers were very efficient, pounded the zone, kept their team in it. But down the stretch, it came down to execution, I think. Plymouth had the opportunity in the 7th to execute a bunt twice with seniors at the plate to move a runner into scoring position. They didn't execute. Lebanon, with the same opportunity in the same inning, made those plays, made that execution, bunted their runner over, got the base hit, and ultimately that's the difference in the game.
So looking at things, Pelletier will pick up the win and a stellar performance on the mound. Garrett Demas will pick up the loss here as the Bobcats will exit and finish their season here today. They drop to 11-6 on the year. Hats off to Trey Chickering, who played outstanding in center field for Lebanon. But looking at things, it's a tough one for the Bobcats to swallow here in 2019.
Yeah, Chickering had a great game in center field, made some big plays. Pelletier, the all-stater on the mound, just pitched a gem. He kept the batters off balance. And when he did give up big hits, his defense picked him up. I mean, they made some spectacular plays behind him today, and, that's why it's a team sport.
Fans, before we sign off and give you our final thoughts, be sure to tune in this Saturday here on the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV as we will attempt to give you coverage of the Bobcat softball matchup. the second round matchup at number 2, Co-Brown Northwood Academy. It's a 2-7 game this Saturday, June 1st at 4 p.m. Coverage will start at 3:45 live here on the Granite State Sports Network, and we will go from there. It's been a great one to watch. Some spectacular defensive plays. We saw a lot of small ball hitting, great pitching on the mound. But it's Lebanon who comes away with the victory and advance. We don't have any word from John Stark, but you would expect it to be against John Stark for Lebanon on Saturday, and they're going to have to rest up and for a quick turnaround in a couple of days.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Leb does down there. You know, they've used up probably all of the pitching availability of Pelletier, and, you know, I'm not sure what else they have behind him. I'm assuming, you know, to get this far, they've got a couple of other pitchers in the bullpen they can bring out to throw. But again, John Stark, the 2 seed, you know, a real solid team, and it's always tough to play on the road anyway, and especially in a playoff game.
So that's going to do it for us here today. We thank you for joining us. It took extra innings, but it's Williman and his RBI single that brought home Trey Chickering. That gives Lebanon High School the 1-0 victory in an upset in the first round of the NHIAA Division II tournament. For our entire staff, our cameraman and Colby Moore, our producer and Andrew Fenn, my partner this afternoon, Aaron Como, I'm Dan Salzer. Final score for the final time. It's Lebanon High School 1, Plymouth Regional High School 0 here on the Granite State Sports Network and Pemmy Baker TV.